Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Pony Panels and back to the Friends Forever line. Yesterday, Friends Forever released number 27, pairing us up with Pinkie Pie and Granny Smith. Now, if you remember the episode Pinkie Apple Pie, you will know that the show has alluded that Pinkie and the apples may be related. Add Heartbreakers into the mix, and you have yet another example of how close these families could actually be to each other. But as what starts out as a bizarre pairing turns out to be an homage of sorts. An homage to the classic Oscar-winning movie Driving Miss Daisy. You could seemingly call this comic Driving Granny Smith if you wanted to. Because it practically plays out like that. Once again, it's cider season. Watch out. Keep Rainbow Dash away from that stuff. She needs to be detoxed. As Granny Smith's getting ready for yet another sure-to-be successful cider season, as she's walking to prepare the first trees, she trips and breaks a hoof on a rake. Yeah, it's one of the most classic cartoon gags in the world, but it works for this case. For about a month, Granny Smith will be sidelined, which ruins the cider season, one would think. Until Pinkie Pie happens to drop by and offer her services to help Granny Smith. It's in this case that the Driving Miss Daisy homage begins. As Pinkie Pie has help for running errands for Miss Smith. But as Daisy was in the movie, so must too Granny Smith. Uncomfortable with the lack of independence and the dependent on another, she's very annoyed by the situation. And even shows a bit of ignorance by fighting against it, and even still walking on the injured leg. This doesn't put Granny Smith in the best light in this comic at all. But Pinkie, despite all the negative things clearly being said in her direction, keeps a smile on throughout the entire proceedings and continues to do what she's told, often saying, "Yes, Granny," to most things in the comic. The powerhouse artwork and especially the artful expressions make up this comic's strong point. It's one of the most beautifully drawn Friends Forever comics, and with Pinkie's wide bit of expressions, you can bet they'll convey everything you need to know from Pinkie's point of view. And yes, the rest of the apples are in there too, but they're largely out of the way, just in the first few frames. Just a minor nitpick, Out Boom Boom doesn't have her cutie mark yet in this comic. Come on, comics, catch up. Please, just a minor nitpick, but it won't do anything to affect the score. The Driving Miss Daisy motif works beautifully here. And when Granny Smith actually spends some time at the retirement home after scolding Pinkie for what looked like the last time, naturally the two of them apologize, and and Granny Smith naturally laments about her temporary lack of independence. Now, this comic really shares something in common with me and also my mother. You see, my mother is 68. Thanks to her arthritis, she's been losing slowly bits of her own independence. And I can tell you from personal experience, she doesn't like it. She's been a very strong and independent woman in my life. And me being a disabled person, independence is pretty much all that I hope for and wish for. Depending on people can, take it from me, be an annoyance and a bother. And sometimes make you feel like less of a person, that other people have to come and help you, even do the most simple things. But as the moral of this comic states, sometimes having a friend or even a family member help you out when obviously in this situation of being injured that you can't, it's a refreshing and comforting feeling, even if you may not like it. There are just some things in life you need a helping hand for. And for me, being that it's an everyday thing, I can understand Granny Smith's viewpoint in this comic perfectly. Although some people will find her constant displeasure unnerving. But the thing that keeps me most refreshing about this comic is Pinky's just constantly helpful and constantly uplifting attitude throughout the entire piece. She wants to be a genuine help not only to Granny Smith, but people in her similar situation. She's always there to lend a helping hand, which, strangely, links into generosity more than laughter. But still, the show Pinkie Pie's dedication to her work is incredible. And I could have not picked a better character for the driving Miss Daisy motif that this comic foretells. A delightful little gem of a somber comic. Friends Forever 27's beautiful artwork and beautiful dedication to an already excellent movie shows that even pop culture references can be used to tell a lesson in this show and tell it well. If Pinky's not a member of the Apple family, I would almost be devastated to find out that that's not the case, because she fits right in. And it's only appropriate that the end of the comic flips the roles in a beautiful sunset. Granny Smith shows her independence and resolve and self-strength, which is something we haven't seen from the character that often. And it's very refreshing. If you understand the motif, this comic will be a perfect read. Friends Forever 27 gets a 5 out of 6 on our traditional harmony scale. So until next time, leave a comment on what you thought about the comic, and if you want to physically, read it / watch it, make sure to check out the channel Chrono Shenron. He is the one that helps us out in providing all the comics for us to do reviews on. So if you want to see them, you can see them there and enjoy the read yourself. In fact, I may leave a link to his channel in the description below so that you can catch up on all the pony panels to this point. And if you like pony panels and would like to say stay up to date on our My Little Pony comic coverage, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm Nirvana Sparkle. Find peace in your own Nirvana, and thanks for watching.